T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And ignition and liftoff.
Hello, everybody. Good evening to people in the UK. It's just gone 10:30, and as you can see, I don't know what we're looking at because I'm not sure what's happening. I think that dot. We've been watching this for about 20 minutes now, and we're trying to. I was just texting some other people. I think that dot is the asteroid. So I'll talk quietly because there's other people who asleep around the house. So I do apologise if I'm feeling very hello. It's got some comments coming in. Oh, Pete Chaffee's here. Do you want to join, Pete? I can send the link. Let me just we're going to crash. He's saying what's happening. So, do you want to jump on? Because this is going to be funny. I'm not sure how long this is going to be until we get close up. That dot is the asteroid. So he's going to send the link over. Anyway, let's get Pete on. I knew he'd be on. I'll send it by Telegram, Pete. This is all technical. This it's going to be 2 minutes. Oh, what am I doing? I'm actually showing you my feed. Let's just get back to the screen. Yeah, we don't know what's going on really, but it's going to be fun to watch. No, that's the other feed, which we don't want. It's going really well so far. That's the one we want. Let me, I'm just going to text it over to him. So we'll get Pete on. We'll have to talk quietly though. Don't want to wake everybody up. Here we go. I've sent in the feed. Let's see if he'll jump on. It's all very exciting. Is it? Now, unfortunately, it's just... See, Pete's just... there we go. He's just saying... There we go. Thanks. That's great. And he's also saying, what the asteroid's there. That's the dot in the center of the screen. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't plan this out because NASA started the broadcast and then we thought it was going to be about 11 o'clock. Could be 2 hours. So, and there's not much sound on this either, which is quite amusing. Let's just see what. Now that's me. It's dark in space though. That's my arrow. So that thing there, that there, that's the asteroid. And they've fitted this 7 million miles away. I don't need any pledging on my screen. No, I don't need to. I'll just enjoy what I'm doing. We've got 12 people watching. Please jump on the comments and say 2 hours. Yeah, I'm not going to be here for 2 hours. It's going to be just talking away by myself. So that's that dot there, people, is the asteroid. I'm not sure what that's the image. Oh, Paul Burns is in. Paul, we're expecting it to hit at about in about 2 hours. Yeah, I thought it was going to be quicker than that. Oh, protect Earth from Mars. Okay, good luck, Dart. Pete's still asking for the asteroid. That's the asteroid, mate. There. Right in the centre of the screen. So it's an hour and 39 minutes. Thank you very much, Gemma. Let's just put these people up on the screen here. Thank you, Gemma. And Red Dot is Sammy and smashing two sports together is worth 2 hours watch. Yes, it is. I may just leave the stream on. It's going to look good when it gets closer, surely. Oh, someone's telling Pete what it is. Here we go. This is nice. Pete Chef, the white dot is the asteroid. I think what's happening is actually Pete's just been there's a lot of chat going on now. No, we're not in danger, Francine. Is that what you think? All day they've what is he saying here? Sorry. All day they've been saying on the news that this is it's not going to hit the Earth. It's 7 million miles away. So we're fine. And when they do hit it, the idea is just to push it off course slightly. And even if it goes wrong, it still won't come towards the Earth. It's not in that type of... it's nowhere near the Earth, so don't worry. Anyway, this rocket lifted off about 6 months ago. So NASA and Musk helped. Musk helped send it up because it seems that Musk can only the one that can get the rockets up at the moment. Did anybody see Musk's YouTube video earlier, live thing about giving away Bitcoin? Oh, here we go. 7 million miles away, £50 in an Uber. Brilliant. Thanks, Pete. You see, Rados is taking this very, very seriously. Honestly, at some point in the future, we will be in danger. That's why they're doing this. And it's true, because Bruce Willis has given up acting. So he can't come and... well, someone calculate the Uber price. It's £50. Pete just said it's £50. So we've got 24 people watching, which is lovely. Hello, everybody. This is what we do. This is what I do. Pete? Why do you jump on, please? I hate talking to myself. Oh, here we go. Someone's put, well, just be watched. Jade, okay. Could it be possible to detect organics if present with... Oh. So he's now saying that there could be... someone's saying that there's... Protect Earth from Mars is saying that there could be aliens on it. I'm not sure what this other screen is here. And you'd think they'd have a little bit of a commentary. We've got nothing. I've got the audio one, haven't I? Let's have a look. We got audio on. Yeah, audio's on. And we got turned up. It's all there. It's all happening. Pete thinks it's hilarious. I'm just looking at I've got a glass of wine, so it's fine. Are you supposed to? Oh, there we go. That's better. Sorry, I knocked my camera down. As ever, these things are planned so well, and then they're just nothing much happens. People are just throwing random stuff up now. I believe tonight you can see Jupiter from certain parts of the UK, and it is a clear night tonight. It is very clear. Oh, you see, people can see. People can see the message before I put them up on screen. Oh, he didn't say it. It didn't say aliens. So I do apologise. Just organics. Look, we're not a proper. We just like space on this channel. Don't get uppity. We'll release a camera. Oh, here we go. We get a side in. Someone's saying that just before it crashes, it releases a camera to capture the impact. Really? I'm surprised they've got a live stream coming back from 7 million miles away, really. Someone said this Uber price is still being knocked around for $44,000. I'm just looking what else we got. Lots of comments calculating per minute. That's the per minute. Oh, someone's actually taking Rados is taking it very seriously. He's actually worked it out by minute. Protect Earth from Mars. Oh, I don't know what his name is, but it's obviously a very long name there. Yeah, we're not. Yes, please do not take us this seriously at all. We're just here to watch what happens. We'd like to watch this stuff. Is that going off course then? No, we like to watch this stuff and just see what happens. So it's 95 minutes to go. It's saying. Let's try a lift. The Uber chat's still going. Yes, fancying Martin. We are in the UK, or I am in the UK. Pete's in the UK as well, but he won't join us on screen, which is unfortunate. Probably eating his biscuits. He does that quite a lot. Oh, there goes my wine. I don't think this is going to last, is it? This wine. That is true. It's going to get bigger. I just feel it's going to get bigger really fast, and then it's going to be over. Multi-milk biscuits. Lovely. Does anybody know how fast the satellite is going towards the asteroid? Someone will know that on here. Oh, Francine's in Canada, New Brunswick. Thanks, Paul. No, it's a Monday night. We can't be drinking too much on a Monday night. But please, if you want to join us with a glass of wine, then please do, or whatever your tipple is. Craig is saying it's going at 4 miles per second. Is flaming heck? That's fast. You'd think I'd do a bit of research before I start this. But why do I? Because I asked the question and the answer is there. Craig has said the satellite is traveling at 4 miles per second. So I don't think it's going to be obviously it's going to go off, isn't it? Unless, who said that it's going to fire a camera out to the side? That is going to be really cool if they do that. But surely, if the satellite body is sending the signal back, that's going to get destroyed in milliseconds. So what's the camera at the side going to transmit back from? I think someone's making up about the remote camera. Oh, here we go. Okay, assuming we launch from Florida near Miami. Here we go. You are looking at. Oh, are we still doing Uber stuff? 324.5 million. Thanks for that, Gareth. This is it's going to happen in 92 minutes. That's what they're saying. Right now, Protect. We're just going to call him Protect because it's these two things. An Italian CubeSat should have launched 10 days ago from Spacecraft to. Oh, okay. So Protect, did it launch or didn't? What are you trying to say there? Italian CubeSat should have launched 10 days ago from the Spacecraft to video it. So do we know, did it launch or didn't it? Pete's saying, wow. It's got bigger since we've been here. Now, does the asteroid have a name? It does have a name. So I'm just waiting for someone to say. It has a name, doesn't it, people? 33 people watching now. Someone's going to tell me the name of the asteroid, are they? It's an asteroid circling an asteroid. So it's not the main asteroid. It's a little moon of the asteroid. No one's coming back with the name, so I'm going to have to Google that. Here we go. What's the name of the asteroid? What's the name of the asteroid that is going to? Please, someone else can come in anytime. And that's where that is going to be hit by dart. Let's have a look. That's what called Dimorphos. Oh, Rados just got it then. I think you got it the same time as I did. So let's read what this says. The DART probe. That's what we sit the camera sitting on. The DART probe's target is a space rock called Dimorphos, which measures 525 feet. Please shut your eyes and go to sleep at any time. No, I haven't got the iPhone 14 yet. 525 feet across and orbits a much larger. This is the one we're not hitting. 2,500 foot wide asteroid named Didymos. So Dimorphos is the small one and Didymos is the larger one. Who comes up with these names? Oh, okay. Protectors just said that the CubeSat did launch and it has been tested. So we will get, I think hopefully NASA will have that on stream. So now it's starting to get exciting. 4 miles per second or 15,000 miles per hour if you live in the UK. That's a little bit faster than a normal speed camera's going to catch. So let's just put that on. So Protectors definitely said that the CubeSat launched and is tested. I'm not sure if that's on a different feed. I'm going to get another screen up here. Just move my mic down just slightly. Let's get another window open. Oh, hang on. You're such an intelligent audience. Here we go. Didymos means twin in Latin, and Dimorphos means two forms. Thank you, Rados. Let me just get my other window open to see if there is another. So my microphone is blocking my view of my first screen. There we go. Beautiful. New window. We'll go down here. So good evening to everybody who's watching. 87 minutes to go. It's a lot of time to film and talk by yourself, Pete. Let's see if we can find this CubeSat feed. Let's see if we can CubeSat feed. Okay, now there's no feed to it at the moment, so that means obviously it's NASA sitting on it. Oh, they're microsatellites. Okay. Brilliant. So that could be the other box. Oh, box from Draco. No, that's the other feed from Draco. I don't want to hit the Twitch feed. Fun factory of Anos, because what else are we going to do for 86 minutes? We could put some other YouTube stuff up. No, we won't do that. These CubeSats are very small. Probably that's why they're called CubeSats. But I'll just see if anything's going on in any other feed. Okay, if something interesting is happening. We may swap over feeds in about 11 minutes because there's their second stream is starting up at 11 o'clock UK time. So that'd be all right. It's very windy in the UK this evening. It's like autumn suddenly hit very fast. If anybody's outside looking at the sky. Very interesting. I don't think I can add Twitch streams to this. I did have a Twitch stream once. There it is. But I think I'm going to gotta change plans if I want to add Twitch. Now, I do believe there's not a nuclear bomb on it. Francine, I think it's this is someone may correct me in a minute. This is basically just going to crash the satellite into it to see if you can knock it off course. I don't think they're trying to blow it up. No, Rados is putting lots of fun facts on. The dung beetle is the strongest insect in the animal kingdom. Okay. Pete's just zipping off. He'll be back shortly. I swear I've been offending God and mankind because my work did not reach the quality it should have. Rados is keeping us entertained this evening. He's definitely doing that. So I'm just going to run this other stream underneath here, which has got lots of audio on it, which is good. So then we might be getting audio on the other one. So we'll keep both screens on. Right, let me just I'll get to Joshua in a minute. Hang on, Joshua. It's just another fun fact from Rados. It's Einstein's last words were, "It's tasteless to go along this artificial share. It's time to go." I'm not reading that because people can read them on the screen. Right, Joshua's saying, sorry, is there a camera on the satellite? And are we going to see a first-person view of it approaching the asteroid? No, we are getting a first-person view, but it's from the satellite. So what you're looking at the moment, that little dot in the middle, is the asteroid, hopefully, unless they're pointing it in the wrong place. And the camera is actually on the front of the satellite of this model. Now, we have been told that we have a DART satellite, which has been launched a couple of days ago, the CubeSat, sorry, which Protectors told us about that. And it's been tested. And so that's going to film, I suppose, from the side to give it a side angle. It's quite interesting, that, isn't it? If they can do that, that'd be brilliant. So now there's no cameras on the satellites. Just the camera's on the satellite, not the asteroid. That's it. That's what I was trying to say. Which amazes me when they point a camera. Obviously, we're looking into deep space here from a camera. Where's all the stars? Why is there no stars? I mean, it must be it's got to be a 4K camera, isn't it? What's he say? Bees explode during oh no. Okay, they explode while they're having that. Paul's saying how far technology has come, which is true. It's broadcasting from 7 million miles away, and I can't get a signal on the M1 sometimes. That's a UK joke if you're living in the UK. M1's our major motorway that goes up the centre of the country. My jokes are just not working because we're dropping down on viewers. But please come back to us when you're gone past for an hour and a half, because we'll still be here. Rados is just... Has he got an encyclopedia? Or is he just Googling stuff here? That's weird things. I'm not even going to pronounce that. Now, Josh was asked another very good question. So that white dot in the middle of the left box is the asteroid. That's correct. So that one, which I'm circling here, that's the asteroid. We've got another box here, but we're not sure what that's for. NASA doesn't say anything. They are rubbish. Francine saying it's going at 13,000 miles per hour. Yeah, well, yes, it's about that. They're saying it goes at 15,000, but 13,000, I'm happy with that. That's still fast enough, isn't it? Have a sip of my wine. Anybody else having a drink this evening? Just or wherever you are in the world. Obviously, it could be in the afternoon. Let's see if there's any other messages coming through. Excellent. So the clock is ticking. 79 minutes and 50. Oh, that's a bit jumpy. The seconds, isn't it? 50 seconds. 79 minutes, roughly. This seems to be tracking inside a box. Now, I feel that this is on this side of the screen because there's a bigger box and then the actual screen box. I think that's the as it's correcting itself. I don't know. That's how I feel. No one's answered me the question about the stars. Come on, people. Google that one. Why are we not seeing stars on a star field on the screen and just the satellite? John Rados is still coming up with the oldest living land animal is a gay giant tortoise named Jonathan. He's 190 years old. Okay. It's just saying my connection is unstable, but I am on Ethernet, which is weird. It's saying I was on Wi-Fi. What else we got? Joshua was saying, I've been hearing about the theatrical plan to push asteroids so they change path forever. Is this the first time we've tested this? Yes. This is the first time this has ever been done. And it's just, you can't sit, Ed's asking, can we see the impact? No, it's 7 million miles away. And I think it's probably on the other side of the planet. But yes, I was answering Joshua's question until Ed, KD rudely interrupted. I just thought it would have made more of a hoo-ha about this, wouldn't you? It's interesting. This is so at KD, this is the only place you'll be able to see the impact is just here on this channel, which is funny. Still don't know why. I'm just checking my internet connection here just for a second. We are going to get another stream in a minute. So NASA's second stream is going to start in about a minute and 9 seconds. So we'll swap over to that if anything interesting is happening. What are we doing here now? We've got lots of stuff going on. Anybody a Starbucks drinker? That's complicated Starbucks drink order that I have. Oh, here we go. I've got audio on this one. Let me just turn the audio down. I'm not sure where that audio is coming from. Anybody else hear that audio? I have no idea where the audio is coming from. I've got music playing. It's a very unnerving music if you can hear it. Oh, somebody else is moving stuff on that screen, and that wasn't even me. Okay, that music stopped. That's weird. I muted all my feeds, and I was getting music in my headset. Oh, hello. That's not me. That's somebody at NASA messing with the screens. Okay, let's swap over to another feed in a second. All right, mate. I have got audio coming out my everywhere. Let me just check what's going on here. Well, we're going to do that. Well, I'm going to take this off the screen. I'm going to get very big for a second, just while I sort this out. Oh, I see what I've got. I've got several going on here. That's why. Let me just get this other screen up. Oh, NASA have just suddenly gone mad and just put everything up. So we have theatre mode on that. Just making sure you can see everything. Okay, let's Chrome tab. Here we go. Brilliant. That's what we want to see. Share that. All right, we're back up on there. And we'll go for another screen here. It's all coming at me at the same time here, and you can't hear everything that's going on, but there's definitely lots of stuff going on there. They're getting very excited in my headset. Love it. Love NASA. Well, they don't get as excited as SpaceX because they just go over the top. Let's look at the to the feed up. Oh, they've delayed. No, they haven't delayed it. That's live. You can't delay it. It's already happening. That's it. Right, we've got a woman up. Well, we're going to put her up. So I'm going to stop that one. She's explaining everything that we already know. But here we are. Here it comes. Are you saying that you can, so people are saying they can't hear him? Okay, let me just sort that audio out. Right, we just could anybody hear them talking? Just to let you know, could you just let me know if you could hear them? Okay, Rad says we can't hear much. Okay. I'm just looking around while we're not. No, you can't hear them. Thank you, Fanstein. Let me just stop the screen then, and let me just double check. There should be Chrome tab, share audio. That's it. Sorry about this. I see. Okay, hang on a minute. We'll get this fixed. Anyway, we've still got an hour to go yet, so don't panic, everybody. Let's just try and see him on. That's interesting. We should have audio. We should be getting audio on this. I'll put him on again. Let's see what happens. Oh, he's stopped. There we go. Right, here we go. Okay. You can't share anything now. Okay. Let's just see what's going on here because we can't get any other streams up. Here we go. Okay. Sorry about this, kids. I can hear them talking. We're just trying to get them up. Right, we found them now. Here we go. Here they come. It is buffering a lot. We are now. That's it, share audio. Brilliant. They have been saying that all day.
Asteroid system, and is the smaller moonlet asteroid orbiting its larger companion Dimorphos. DART has one instrument on board, and that's a Draco camera, which is feeding images to its autonomous navigation system, steering it straight into the asteroid. Now, teams from around the world have worked hard to get us to this moment. Since standing by NASA's head of science and Johns Hopkins, APL's head of space exploration. Let's check in to hear more about the journey.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Ava. To help give us some insight into what it takes to imagine much less attempt a mission this ambitious, I have with me Thomas Yerbukin, Associate Administrator for NASA's Science Mission Directorate, and Bobby Brown, Space Exploration Sector Head at Johns Hopkins APL. Gentlemen, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thomas, I'll start with you. The mission, this team has been through an intense journey, years in the making, and they're now in the
We'll watch them for a bit, I think. I'll still be here in the background. Don't panic. I won't leave you alone.
7 million miles away from Earth. The spacecraft traveling 14,000 miles per hour. Why is it important for us to continue to push the boundaries of what's possible in space?
You know, what I always think is the world is made out of a box. Those are things we know we can use, and a large space of things that are unknown. In that large space are solutions for problems of the future. There's new research, new understanding of nature. And we at NASA are all about moving that boundary back, moving it back to make more things useful for us, like DART, but also understanding nature in a new fashion.
It's incredible, Thomas. Well, based on what we know tonight, heading into this main event, you know, what are you thinking about the chances of impact?
Betting on the team is always the right thing to do when it comes to NASA missions, whether it's this one or other teams we've had. I think you just announced, you know, that kind of seeing that little bump there in the image of that new kind of celestial body we knew was there, that now we've have it on the camera. Just step in that direction. I'm very optimistic.
That's awesome. What the team has planned for months, years ago, it's coming to fruition, and we're watching it live.
Absolutely. It's just exciting.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomas. Bobby, you've been through so many white knuckle experiences with space missions, most recently with the landing of the Mars Perseverance rover last year. What is the mindset of the team coming to such a major moment in their career with the stakes being so high?
Well, things like this prepare for the worst, but celebrate the best. And I think we're going to have one of those best nights tonight. There are, of course, many things that can go wrong in spaceflight, but so far this team's been on top of every possible problem. They've been ahead of it, and they just need to focus and push through and go for success.
That's awesome. I think from what we're hearing, the cheers coming out of the mock before this broadcast, I feel like we're on the right track.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Any pep talk or advice for the team heading into tonight that you give them?
Well, I've been in the mock several times today talking with the team. They're calm, they're cool, they're collected. I basically told them just follow the data, trust in each other, trust in themselves. They've prepared for this moment for years, and so they know this better than anybody. And as a team, they're going to get through this successfully.
That's awesome. Thank you both. That's great words of wisdom for moving forward in space, and it seems like the team is in good hands for themselves. Right here, we're attempting the once unthinkable. The team has prepared for this moment. How to keep a steady course on this last mission-defying leg. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Samson. I mean, it is incredible what the teams are pulling off tonight. This is a first of its kind mission, testing a way to one day save our planet from a hazardous asteroid. Now, we asked astronauts aboard the International Space Station to show us how this technique works in microgravity, and they had some fun with it. Now, before we get to the video, I urge you to keep a close eye on Shane. He's going to be in the blue shirt and standing in for asteroid Dimorphos. A white object is about to come crashing into him. That's our spacecraft. You'll notice how the impact of the crash moves Shane's position in space. This demo, much like DART's test, relies on the energy transfer from a collision to change the motion of an object. The method, which is called kinetic impact deflection, is the technique DART will test at 7:14 p.m. Eastern. Let's take a look.
So what I'll do, Shane's going to be the asteroid, and I'm going to be the NASA DART mission. Or this CTB, more exactly, is going to be a spacecraft. I'm going to try to throw it, and we'll look at the effect of that mass coming at him and the kinetic energy transfer from the CTB to Shane. Shane will be perfectly stable. It's not an easy test. Ready? All right, here it goes. Redirected Shane successfully. Pretty good.
All right, now back on Earth. We're taking your questions live in just a few minutes. Send them in using the hashtag Planetary Defender and stand by. It's time now for our first status poll update. Let's head to Samson to check in on DART's progress. Samson, how are we looking?
Tahira, we are entering the 60-minute mark of Hull impact, and as you noted, the team is about to conduct a poll, which is essentially a status update to check that key systems are in working order. We're talking vehicle image quality, smart nav, guidance and navigation, ground system performance, everything that's anything to do with getting us to impact. All right, I think the poll is about to get underway. Let's start to listen in.
So a bit tense.
We are waiting for that poll to begin any second now.
Martin F1 off console.
I want one of them blue shirts. I'm always a big polo fan.
Waiting on that first poll of there will be 2 polls. One in 60 minutes, which is now, and one at 30 minutes.
Get his headphones on. you.
Afterward, we should be hearing from Elena Adams, the Mission Systems Engineer, to give us a summary of what we'll have just heard.
It's getting bigger.
All right, folks, we're an hour prior to impact. Woo-hoo!
There you
And we're seeing Dimorphos. So wonderful, wonderful. All right, let's do our poll. Image quality. Let's start with you.
Images are looking great. Dimorphos is coming in at about the same relative dimness as Didymos, so very consistent brightness between the two, and it's a stable track.
That's awesome. All right, SmartNav.
SmartNav is looking good. We're sitting at about 30 meters of projected miss distance. There is no movement right now on the bars for doing a maneuver, but we do expect that when we transition in about 10 minutes that we'll see a maneuver at that point.
Yeah, that's great.
I
And
don't
at
like
this
the
point,
whispering
because we
they're
have a
doing.
Stable track. We do expect to transition over
That
at
is
that
correct.
time. So that's really good. Whew, that's good. All right, GNC.
GNC is nominal. We're ready to burn.
that sounds good too. And maneuver. All right. Let's see. Autonomy.
Autonomy is nominal. Here they're cycling and no more fault rules.
All right. DSN.
DSN looks good, and we don't see any sign of rain. And ESA looks good as well.
Rain?
That's good. And then ground system.
Ground system is nominal, and we have a clear vision of Dimorphos on the image display now.
Yes, it looks great. Thank you, guys. All right. One more poll after this, but in the meantime, we're going to hopefully transition at 15 minutes to locking. So stand by.
I hope she's going to explain all that
Right,
then.
we're going to hear from Lena ourselves to give us a update. Hey, Lena. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. That sounded like a great poll. Any words about what we just heard?
Oh, we're very excited. We are starting to see Dimorphos for the first time. It is looking great. It is just about the same deepness as Didymos as we expected. And so we
Yes, Paul, she did say rain.
at this point, it's about 7 pixels in size. And yeah, we're ready to go.
It's great news, Lena. Thanks so much. I'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a great update. Joining and reacting to that good news is Angela Stickle, planetary geologist and a dark investigation team lead. Angela, you just heard the poll. You just heard things might be going really well. What are you feeling? What are you thinking?
Oh, I'm so excited. This is fantastic. We can see Dimorphos and we're on our way.
Gosh, basically we just gotta keep humming along, right?
Right.
It's awesome.
Heading in.
Gosh, well, let's quickly talk about the next major milestone that's ahead of us, locking on target with Dimorphos, which could happen as early as 10 or so minutes from now. Right now, SmartNav is still targeting Didymos, right? But locking onto Dimorphos means, all right, Dimorphos, you are bright, you are consistently bright enough, I'm ready to start targeting you. Can you dive into what that means a little bit more?
Yeah, exactly. So SmartNav is looking for bright parts of the image. And so as Dimorphos gets closer and it's brighter and bigger, SmartNav will just target onto it as opposed to Didymos, and we'll be on our way to impact.
That is awesome. Thank you, Angela. That's very cool stuff. Good luck with the rest of the evening.
Thank you.
Great. And while we wait, we want to invite you to celebrate the life of an important member of our team. Extraordinary events require extraordinary people. And Harvey was just that, a leader, an engineer, a friend. We devoted his life to making the impossible possible. Tonight, we pay tribute to DART's former mission operations manager.
Ray Harvey was our mission operations manager for DART, but I've known Ray since I've been at the lab, which is about 15 years.
as an engineer, having people like Ray was extremely important because he could go ask a great question. He would tell you a joke, but he would also give you an answer. So you didn't feel awkward asking questions. You were just good coming out with more knowledge, but also you had fun in the process.
Ray probably, since I started working here almost 25 years ago, he was always like a good mentor and a sounding board for anything we were doing. I think everybody learned something from Ray: his leadership skills, how to treat people, how to work as a team.
Ray was a pretty amazing person. Even though he was fighting this terrible disease, he made it a point to be involved in all the rehearsals and all the activities going on DART. He led the mission operations team to the last few days of his life.
He was really hoping to make it to the end of this mission. He meant so much to this team and to getting us to this point.
It represents so many years of hard work of him and also the team, but him leading that team. And so the DART spacecraft is a tribute to Ray.
We are hoping that this experience kind of goes out to Ray and to his family. We will really miss him, and we already miss him.
Ray has touched so many lives. Even in the short time that I knew him, he was so generous with his knowledge, and he made you feel like you belonged. Ray, you greatly missed. This one's for you. Sarah.
Thank you, Stephen, for that beautiful dedication. If you're just joining us, we're under an hour away from the DART spacecraft on mission with Asteroid Dimorphos. DART's mission is to test planetary defense technique that can one day save humanity. Rest assured, the test poses no threat to Earth. The space is almost 7 million miles away from us right now. And you're watching a live stream of its approach to Dimorphos. It takes about 45 seconds for the images you're seeing in the DART game to make their way back to Earth. Any moment now, you should learn if DART is ready to get impact. While we wait, I'm here with Andy Ricken, our Science Investigation Lead, and Mallory D. Coster, DART Impact Modeler. Andy, Mallory, while we wait to learn if DART is ready to commit to Dimorphos, I can't help but wonder, why this asteroid?
I'm just, what we're going to do here is, if you just bear with us, we're just trying to get the signal better because we seem to be buffering even though we're on Ethernet. So we're just going to reset the hub so that we may go off. I think the stream stays live, so we may go off for 30 seconds or so. We're not going to miss anything. We'll keep monitoring it here. So we're going to go off and then we'll come back on again. So stay where you are, and we'll be back in a moment.
So small that we wrecked the moon. So when you kind of tick off all the possibilities, Dimorphos really ended up as the best choice and really the only choice that would provide a mission in this time period.
See, I want to go back to that. You mentioned having a moon that
And we're back. Right, we should have a better signal now, so bear with us. Excellent. Here we go.
Also might sound very
Much better
familiar
signal now.
because that is an APL-led mission. So if you've ever seen the first pictures of Pluto, that is the amazing quality that we have on DART.
That's incredible heritage. And yeah, anyone who saw those images of Pluto, those were amazing. And that kind of ups the ante for what we're going to see with these pictures of Dimorphos, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we all know about, a lot of us have smartphones with, cameras. We have cracked smudges.
So we'll just
How did your
get a
team
few
make sure that this camera made it
stuff off
distinct condition
here.
to get to this
There
point?
we go. That's
Of
what we
course.
need.
So our flight hardware, including this instrument, was made in the clean room. Very, very high clean facility. In order to make sure that the telescope works, we had to put it through a lot of electrical testing, optical testing, alignment testing. We have to make sure it performs as we intended. And then not only that, you have to take this instrument and put it through all the environments that it'll see through space. So we put it through vibration testing, thermal vacuum chamber testing, all to make sure that it performs and it will survive through space.
Thank you for being with us. This is when we rebooted everything.
Again, right?
Yes.
This is how we get to a stage like this. That is
Exactly.
awesome. That is great. Thanks so much, Lisa. The number of astounding technologies that are on board this spacecraft is amazing, but doing the impossible requires nothing less than the astounding, right?
So while you're away, we just that gave us a preview of the cube that's going to film it, and it just get ejected outside the satellite that was is heading towards the asteroid, which is going to hit in 44 minutes. So quickly time flies.
Your questions by using the hashtag Planetary Defender. And I am joined now by two real-life planetary defenders. We have Kelly Fast and Lucas Paganini, both from NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office. Let's dive into what
really
you want
got
to
something
know.
for that.
So Kelly, Lucas, before I get to social media questions, we actually have a special question from a familiar face, especially if you're into football. So let's take a moment and hear from him.
What's up? I'm Joshua Dobbs, quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Now I have a question for NASA's DART team. On the field, I have to use precision passing in order to get the football in the hands of my teammates. And at least I can see where they are. For NASA's DART team, how are you able to aim a spacecraft at an object so far away?
You know, that's a really good question, Kelly. And I mean, we haven't
always
really
is.
done this before. How can we aim?
Right.
At
Well,
something
and
that far?
but I have to say, Joshua does in a few seconds what we've taken, years to do. Just as he has to throw it where he knows that the player will be, throw his football where the player will be. DART needs to end up where Dimorphos and Dimorphos will be, and so that was learned from astronomy, looking at it through telescopes, calculating the orbit, and then the people who launched DART to its destination navigated there. So there's just a lot more calculations involved, which Joshua does in his head.
Yeah.
And then there's this autonomous navigation. It would be like he had a football that could navigate itself.
Yeah.
And so we have that to lean on that he doesn't. And so that's what helps get to that destination.
All right, nice. I mean, it's very impressive. And so we have another question from Jonathan on Facebook, who wants to know, how can a small satellite like DART be able to impact something as big and heavy as an asteroid and actually move it?
Right. And it's all about momentum, right? We have this tiny asteroid of about 160 meters, the size of a football field. And then you have this spacecraft, which is about 500 kilograms. So it's all about momentum, right? We have this massive asteroid and this tiny spacecraft. And how do you move it? It's all about mass and velocity. Since we don't have enough mass in that spacecraft, we have to really impact it hard. And that's why we're impacting it at 4 miles a second, which is outstanding.
Which is amazing. And I mean, we're actually going to get to watch impact live take place. And so that gets me to my next question. We have Metal Money on Twitter who asks, what is the size of the blast on the asteroid? Kelly Could you explain a little bit about that?
Well, and that's something that we're hoping to find out from this mission, because there's physics and calculations, but actually when you're dealing with a real asteroid that we haven't seen close up before, and what type of material might be on the surface, what the structure is, this is something that, like Lucia Cube, we hope to see as Lucia Cube flies by, to see what that blast was, how large it was, which will help those who are doing the modeling of how effective the impact was, and in changing the orbit, what all figures in, what Lucas just talked about, the mass and the velocity, but then also maybe that blast that is seen afterwards, the plume of material that we're hoping to see from Lucia Cube.
So how does tonight's mission play into the work that y'all do in NASA's Planetary Defense Coordination Office, Lucas?
Yeah, I would start by saying that this is a very important test. We're going to know if this kinetic impact is an effective technique to use in the case that there would be any potential asteroid en route to Earth. So definitely, for me, that's the most
It's
important.
definitely getting bigger.
about this
Since we
test.
started, that dot's
But then on
got
top
bigger.
of that, there's finding the asteroids, because you can't go out and mitigate a possible threat if you don't even know it's there. And so NASA is very focused also on finding near-Earth asteroids with telescopes that survey the skies every night, looking for near-Earth asteroids, getting the orbits calculated, figuring out where they're going to be in the future to see if we even need something by DART, and then working to speed that up. NASA's working on the Near-Earth Object Surveyor space telescope that would look in the infrared and have a different perspective, complement the ground-based telescopes to accelerate things, just so that we know, is there a threat out there that we're facing that we do not yet know about?
Wow, I mean, it's incredible just to know the work that is already being done. It's good to know that we're building off of it, but it's good to know we've already got some people watching the skies. And so I have our next question from Alan on Twitter, who asks, how long does it take for pictures to reach Earth? Kelly?
Well, the time it takes light and then a radio signal from the spacecraft to come to Earth is 38 seconds. But then there's also the time needed to process the images, so a few more seconds on top of that. So under a minute, but still, it's not instantaneous, because it's a ways out there.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, but under a minute to get something back from space, I'd say we're doing pretty good right there.
Right.
So Lucas, Kelly, thank you so much for everything that y'all are doing to keep our planet safe.
Thanks, Sahil.
And so it's important to note that tonight we're attempting something that's never been done. And with that presents many challenges to overcome. Here's what makes DART a first of its kind mission.
The DART mission is a very difficult mission because we are trying to do something that hasn't been done before.
This is the first time we're going to an asteroid that is this small, this dark, and we're actually going to attempt an impact.
The DART mission is really something that the whole world can get behind.
We're doing this mission to prove that we can deflect an asteroid if we find one that is on an impact course for Earth.
We are trying to hit an asteroid 163 meters wide, which is about the size of the Washington Monument, while flying at 6 kilometers per second, which is like going from New York to DC in about a minute.
There is no chance that this asteroid could ever hit Earth.
It's a very small asteroid that's only about the size of a small football stadium, and it's almost 7 million miles away from the Earth. That's 28 times the distance between the Earth and the Moon.
There's kind of a limit on how much mass you can launch into space. You know, rockets are only so big. So our spacecraft is only the size of a golf cart.
Draco is the primary instrument on the DART spacecraft. It is the camera that is going to be imaging the Dimorphos system as we approach.
When we first see the asteroid through Draco, it's just going to look like a pixel.
There's a star tracker on board that takes images of the stars and compares them to a known catalog to determine which way it's pointing in space. It poses the biggest risk because very, very small errors in this measurement can spell the difference between success and failure. And those measurements are going to be fed into the SmartNav algorithm that's going to be making the autonomous course correction commands that will put us on an intercept course.
There is a very small probability that we don't hit the asteroid.
Even if we do everything right, our sensors work well, our spacecraft is doing well, we are looking, we're finding the asteroid, even then, we might still miss.
We're trying to teach a computer how to recognize an object we've never seen before.
And the way it does that is by taking pictures of the asteroid and then interpreting where it is in space and guiding itself to it.
The spacecraft is controlling itself. SmartNav is guiding the spacecraft. And we have very limited ability to respond in that time. So it has to do it all by itself.
And at about 2.5 minutes out, we cease all maneuvering and we coast until we hit the asteroid.
It is going very, very fast towards the asteroid, traveling at 6 kilometers per second.
200 times faster than a car on the freeway. So when we hit, all of that mass, all of that momentum pushes the asteroid.
Even giving it a small nudge will allow it to change its course.
But if we did see an asteroid on track for Earth, this would be enough of a deflection.
It's like a bittersweet moment. Yeah, all this hard work just got destroyed, but that was exactly why we put it all together.
Of all the endeavors that we do for space and in space, this is probably one of the ones that one day will be the most important thing that we've ever done.
In the future, I hope that DART can teach us what ways work and what ways don't work for planetary defense.
Because it is humankind's first demonstration that we have gained the knowledge and the technology to be able to protect the Earth from an asteroid impact.
Space exploration is rooted in pushing past boundaries. Remember, tonight is a test, and we hope to make impact. Now that you've learned of the challenges today's test, let's head back to mission operations and get a status update on DART's real-time progress. Samson, how are we looking?
Oh, we're not listening to Samson again. He doesn't know what he's doing. Anyway, Pete's back, so that's great. So Samson's he's doing the interviews, Pete, if you missed that earlier, and he's doing a great job.
Both providing SmartNav with about an image per second. And this is a good
Look how
time to
big it is
remind you
now.
that what we're seeing on the Draco feed is delayed by about 45 seconds on account of signal delay and image processing. And coming up, we're about to see the team conduct a final poll, one last scheduled confab to make sure that all
Now,
systems
if you
are go.
only just joined
And
us
as we
now,
head to that, I have someone with me who knows a
we
thing.
did the poll at 60 minutes, and it's outstanding.
Mechanical systems engineer Betsy, thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, Paul is getting bigger.
So you led the team that literally put DART together. Is that right, Betsy?
Yeah, so my job is to make sure the engineers and the technicians all physically put all these boxes that you've been hearing, bolts and all onto a spacecraft altogether.
I gotta ask, with a mission so ambitious, how many hours, how many years, how many people? Do you have any idea?
So Christopher is just asked why has not the image got bigger over the last half an hour? Well, it has actually. So I mean, well, it's over the past hour. It is being edited, but I think you'll find there if I've got it on a HD screen here that it's the actual dot next door to that asteroid. And believe me, Christopher, that when we first started this early on this evening, about an hour or so ago, that was just a pixel. So it is getting closer. I take it gets the last couple of minutes is going to, because it is traveling at 15,000 miles an hour. So I think it's going to be it's going to come up really fast.
Own individual testing, and then we put the whole spacecraft together, and we will check out the electrical systems, making sure all the boxes are working and talking to each other. We put it into a vacuum chamber, make sure it's going to work in space, put it through all the different temperatures it's going to see, and then put it on a shaker table and actually mimic launch. And so it actually goes through all of that as a full spacecraft as well as individual components. So we go through a lot of testing, mission operations, mission simulations to get to this point.
That's incredible. I mean, I don't know if you included, you mentioned so much array. Is that also accounting for the temperature fluctuations in space? That's another key part.
Yeah, so we have chambers here at APL that are specially built to take these spacecraft, put them into the vacuum of space, and run them through the temperature spaces that we're going to actually see.
It's incredible. How many times do you check? Is it like one test and we're done, or are you sometimes testing and testing?
Lots and lots of testing, and that's what makes it, so perfect. We're seeing these great images coming in because of all that testing and all of that work. So, you don't do anything once. You're doing it many times because once it's in space, there's not a lot of ways to fix it.
Right. Well, do you ever, think about that one panel, that one component that gave you a little bit of heartburn in the clean room, and you're up at night thinking, I think that thing is gonna hold true up until the end. Fingers
Everything
crossed.
everything is looking really good. I will say, we had a lot of new technologies, which are really exciting. The Rosa solar arrays had never been integrated onto a spacecraft before. And so that was like a challenge, but one the team was up for, and now it's all ready and working perfectly.
All these new technology demonstrations, it only adds to the complexity of this mission and to, testing things. I wouldn't say even more so, but it's just as critical. But new technology, everything has to be so to make sure it comes.
Yeah, all of this new technology just requires extra testing, but that just gains confidence. You're seeing the team working through that, working through all these mission sims. So that's really what makes it exciting. You don't want to just do the same thing over and over. This is what makes APL a special place. We build these special spacecraft that, have never been done before.
The last quick question for you. It's got to be a little bittersweet that a spacecraft you poured heart and soul into is about to careen into an asteroid. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling great about it. It was designed to careen into the asteroid. It's meeting its destiny. So it's really exciting to see, and I can't wait for impact.
Well, it is serving a purpose. I guess that's why it's easier to let it go.
Exactly, very much so.
That is awesome. Well, I think we are about to get into that final poll in the mock very shortly. So we're going to hear that final 30-minute poll, and then we're going to hear from Lena Adams again, DART's mission systems engineer, to give us that summary of what we just heard, how she's feeling, how they're feeling in there. Very exciting stuff. This will be the final poll of the evening.
So this is the exciting bit. It's all exciting. I'm just being sarcastic. That dot's definitely got bigger. I've finished it. Every time Paul's just asking how's the bottle of wine doing, and every time I come off screen I just want to fill it up a little bit. It's all gone. I only started with half a bottle anyway.
Awaiting that final poll.
Here we go. Just gonna.
This is DART MSC on DT Mock. It is time for the last status poll. Yes. We're about
Pat yourselves on the back, lads. Well
7,000 miles from Dimorphos at this point, so yay. All right, image quality. How are we doing?
It's a dot.
Still looking very good. Dimorphos still tracking along that same brightness predict as Didymos.
That's great. All right.
Maneuver complete.
Yes, thank you.
I think someone did a joke.
All right.
Very good. Very good.
SmartNav.
SmartNav is looking nominal. We are at under 30 meters of projected miss distance right now.
Yeah, it's looking really good. Look at that. That's looking fantastic. Very excited. All right, GNC.
Yeah, GNC also looking good. We've been very excited to do those burns, so we've been waiting a long time.
Oh, this is great. Autonomy.
Autonomy is green. The heaters are cycling nominally, and we've had no new fault rules firing.
Okay, wonderful. DSN.
DSN is green, and ESA is green. Got plenty of margin. Looks good.
Pete is
All right,
getting bigger.
ground system. Ground system has been helping a few users manage clients, but everything is going fine there, and we are green. Yes, wonderful. Thank you, guys. Completes the poll. Last one. All right, so Didymos is looking like itself. We'll see what Dimorphos is looking like soon. In the meantime, we're going to transition to precision lock at 20 minutes. That's our next milestone. So thanks all.
So as I said, I think you'll find, let me just turn their audio off a minute, that the large image in the center is not the one we're going to hit. The one we're going to hit is just to the right-hand side, just at about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. if you can see it that well on your screens. I understand that. Oh, she's talking to us. I'm going to see what she's saying. Probably just doing the joke.
And yeah, everything is looking really good. We were at the time of the poll within just a few meters of projected miss distance, which means we were hitting towards the center. And at this point, we're coming back there about 30 meters off the center of the lit portion of Dimorphos as of right now. We've executed 2 burns, and everything's looking on track.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
What's that guy doing at the back
Thanks so
behind
much
her?
for
He's
that.
got
And
some
good
kind
luck
of
on the final
joystick.
stretch.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one.
Oh, look at them all. All want to get on camera now, don't they? So what's happening then is, it's as I said, I don't think you can see it because it's on here. Let me get my pointer out. So see that there. It's just, I think the other asteroid's about here we're going to hit. So we're aiming for the large one, then we just go to the right-hand side and I think they're going to hit that. Let's see what she's saying here.
We're ready. Go DART.
You've heard it all loud.
That was well worth going back for it.
Systems are going. We remain on track for impact. And like Betsy just said, go DART. Back to you.
All right, what an exciting update, Samson. You just heard it. All systems are go. Mission operations confirm the spacecraft is on track for impact. But in order to hit the mark, the test must first locate its target. That's why Johns Hopkins APL engineer Michelle Chen helped develop new autonomous navigation techniques that will ensure a bullseye. Let's take a look.
Never in my life would I have thought I would take a couple $100 million spacecraft and crash it into an asteroid. My name is Michelle Chen, and I lead the team that is responsible for the autonomous navigation of DART spacecraft to hit an asteroid. The DART mission is the first planetary defense test mission. Our goal is to hit and impact an asteroid to understand and study the momentum transfer so that we could potentially later down the road, if we need to, deflect an asteroid on its way to Earth. I am the SmartNav lead. SmartNav stands for Small Body Maneuvering, Autonomous Real-Time Navigation. SmartNav, I always consider it sort of like the brains. And so the camera, Draco, is essentially the eyes. The algorithm has to identify and hit the target in the field of view of the camera. We're flying at over 6 kilometers a second. It essentially occupies a pixel up until possibly 30 minutes prior to impact. And then that's where everything gets really exciting. And so you could just imagine if it was a human being joysticking this. Because we don't know for sure what the asteroids look like, our simulation gives us the capability to use different asteroid shapes and asteroid objects to see that our SmartNav algorithm performs against all these unknowns. We're super excited and nervous as well. I love pushing the boundaries, and I love the application of math into real-world problems, and then seeing it actually doing its thing. To me, there's nothing cooler than that.
So Pete's asking.
If you're just joining us, we're about 24 minutes away.
Start off. Peter, what he says, I missed something. Why are we flying in a spaceship into an asteroid? It's to divert the asteroid in case in the future, Peter. I'll talk to you. I'll put his question up. If an asteroid's coming towards the Earth, we're going to do a Bruce Willis thing. Well, we're not going to drill it, but we'll fly a satellite or some type of heavy object into it, and it'll divert it, because when it's that far away, even if you just divert it a meter, a millimeter, whatever, it'll trajectory changes and you'll just send it into outer space. So the idea is, if we find something, and usually with long range satellites now, we can find these objects years in front before they hit the Earth. So we set up a satellite, a rocket with a satellite on there, fly it up to it, hit it. No nuclear explosions, nothing like that. Just it's the actual trajectory and the actual force of it being hit, because obviously there's no gravitational pull. So you just knock it a little bit and it'll move it out the way of the Earth. There you go. That's why we're doing it. That sounded a lot simpler than it actually is.
What the
It's getting
geology
bigger now, though.
was of that asteroid. That's the basic information that's going to help us refine our physics understanding of asteroids and our ability to compute and predict, like Dawn does, run these fantastic codes and extend this knowledge to really have a good plan for how we might react if we ever do discover a dangerous asteroid that is different from Dimorphos.
Well, hey, I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry. So it sounds like y'all's party is really just getting started after impact. So congratulations on your success so far. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Now, any second, we should be learning if DART has a precision lock on its target Dimorphos. This is a key milestone critical to tonight's success. Samson, mission operations must be buzzing. How are things going?
Hey, Tahira, the energy is indeed electric and the team is hyper-focused. You could hear a pin drop right now as we're coming up on the critical 20-minute mark from impact and expecting to hear from the team that SmartNav is now precision locked onto Dimorphos, which means that SmartNav will be tracking only Dimorphos from here on out. Why? SmartNav has full confidence that we're in fact tracking Dimorphos, and so we want to remove any confusion by continuing to track Didymos. Because what could happen with Didymos is that its shape could be such that there's a lot of shadowing, which could make it seem in the Draco imagery like multiple blobs, as the team likes to call them. And we don't want SmartNav to mistake any of those blobs for Dimorphos, so we're doing away with tracking Didymos altogether. We are waiting for that announcement of precision lock. All right, we're about to hear from the team. Actually, we have some time until we hear that. And now let's listen in for that confirmation of precision lock.
All right, we expect to be in precision lock soon.
The self-generating subs, Pete. If you're on YouTube, aren't you? So I think they're doing it on there. If this is all off, I'm switching off and going to bed. Because it is 5 to midnight in the UK.
We are waiting for confirmation of precision lock.
They're shifting about in the seats a bit.
MSC, this is SN5.
Go ahead, SN5.
We are precision locked and still tracking Dimorphos.
Yes.
Clever. So, we're going to smash into an asteroid then. Here we go.
We are soon going to hear again from Elena Adams.
This is great. This is DART MSC on DT Mach. So this was our last milestone. At this point, we're going to be working towards Dimorphos. I expect we're going to do some burns. We're about 4,500 miles away from Didymos and Dimorphos. So let's see what happens.
Ground Staff 41, C2.
Right, joining me now to react to that bit of good news is Lindley Johnson, NASA's Planetary Defense Officer. Lindley, you heard Lena, we are now precision locked, a lot of applause, things are looking good. And we are now headed for the moment of truth. How are you holding up?
Oh, I'm doing great. The team's been doing great. The spacecraft's doing great. It's this precision lock, is absolute milestone for the terminal phase here. We've got a good signature on Dimorphos, so the spacecraft has what it needs to guide itself in for the impact here in 17, almost 18 minutes. So we're doing great.
Yep, so close. Very exciting moments ahead.
So, Pete, that is what we're looking at.
That
image there is the camera on the front of the satellite. We're supposed to be getting another image. I feel that we're going to get the other image, but I don't think we're going to get it live.
Right?
No, that's right. This asteroid system is still almost 7 million miles away from the Earth. It's at its closest point in the orbit right now to Earth. So from this point forward, it's going to be moving away from Earth. So there's no chance of anything here.
I'm
We've got to look
not
for
going
all
to read
the
that.
other
I'll let everybody read
unknown
that.
asteroids out there still to find what the hazard really is.
Thanks so much, Lindley. I'll catch you on the other side of impact.
Oh, okay, if you can.
Back to you, Tahira.
All right, thanks, Samson. It is amazing to know that we have a precision lock on target Dimorphos. Now, we have a fun way for you to join our mission, and it is by signing up to be a planetary defender. Visit bity.com/planetary defender. Take the quiz and receive a certificate like this one. Now, once it's official, show us on social media using the hashtag planetary defender. Now, telescopes from around the
I thought she was holding up a game box. Don't we get to play this at Christmas, kids?
orbit, they'll be measuring the
Joshua was asking, what is the asteroid made of? It's rock and gas, I do believe, but somebody may correct me on that.
at Lowell Observatory, home to the telescope that discovered Pluto, to see what's in store for DART.
This is Lowell Observatory. Lowell is one of many observatories around the world that will be observing the DART impact, NASA's first ever planetary defense test mission, to see how much a spacecraft impact can deflect an asteroid in its orbit. This is where Pluto was discovered, and we are still doing research in all areas of astronomy today. So let's go check it out.
I think this is important, so watch this.
This is the Pluto Telescope, the telescope that was used to discover Pluto almost 100 years ago. So here we are at the Clark Telescope. This is where Percival Lowell sat to observe Mars. Let's head on over to the Lowell Discovery Telescope, about an hour south of Flagstaff, which is where we are going to be collecting data for the DART mission. The reason we're all the way out here in the middle of this forest is that we have really dark skies here. And this is the Lowell Discovery Telescope. This is what a 4.3 meter telescope looks like. This is what we will be using to study Didymos and Dimorphos in the days and weeks after DART impact. The DART spacecraft will be hitting an asteroid called Dimorphos. It's special because it's a binary asteroid, which means a satellite around a larger asteroid called Didymos. And DART will actually be hitting Dimorphos. And what we will be measuring is how much DART changes the orbit of Dimorphos around Didymos. So this is an important test for planetary defense mitigation strategies in case we ever have to do this for real. The Lowell Discovery Telescope is one of many telescopes around the world which will be used to study Didymos and Dimorphos. It's really a global coordinated effort. And what we're looking at here is a large 4.3 meter primary mirror that's in the middle of the telescope tube here. Up at the top is a secondary mirror. The secondary mirror up top there is what is focusing the light down onto the instruments and allows us to take images with the camera that's located down at the bottom. This is maybe one of my favorite hidden rooms at the telescope. We're like standing inside the telescope, underneath the telescope, 100 tons above your head, held up by this and this, which is cool. So sort of, as you can see, the highest peak around here, just over 8,000 feet. Come up here for sunset. You know, sun setting right there. It's perfect. For DART, we're going to be collecting images of the night sky. And typically an observer would be here in front of one of these consoles, controlling the instrument and taking images like these as they're coming in off the telescope. DART is really a sort of before and after experiment. We need to understand the system before the spacecraft intentionally impacts, and then we have to understand what the outcome of that impact event is. As we watch from the Earth, Dimorphos will pass in front of Didymos and behind Didymos. What we will be doing with those images is measuring the brightness of Didymos in those images and looking at how that brightness changes. And those dips in brightness allow us to measure when these eclipses happen and measure the orbit period of Dimorphos. And so you have essentially a fixed star field here. All the white dots are stars of different brightness, and moving through this field is Didymos and Dimorphos, which again, we can't distinguish them as discrete points of light, but we have that small object moving through the field of view. So after impact, we will then be able to go back and start observing intensely, looking for those mutual events, those eclipse events of Dimorphos passing in front of and behind Didymos. And on each one of these frames, we're measuring the brightness to assess whether or not it's undergoing one of these events where Dimorphos is passing in front of or behind, and using those to determine the orbit period of Dimorphos around Didymos. This is such a cool experiment. It's such a singular experiment. Using the ground-based telescopes like this one and others around the world to watch the systems and see how it's affected by this impact event, because that's really what's going to give us the answer to what did DART do at the time of impact. And that will be exciting to see how that evolves over the days and weeks following that impact.
All right. After a 10-month, 470 million mile journey, DART is just minutes away from making history. A truly global effort, this mission has brought together people from around the world, united under one goal: to find a way to protect humanity from a hazardous asteroid if one were ever discovered. Now, usually NASA spacecraft are intended to operate for many years or even decades, but not DART. DART was built to be destroyed. DART is a mission of firsts, proving that a spacecraft can autonomously seek, find, and approach a target in space that's so far away we don't even know what it looks like. It also marks the first time humanity will have moved a planetary body in the universe. I said that correctly. Now, at this point, the spacecraft is controlling itself, making small maneuvers to ensure it's lined up with its target. DART is speeding through space and will cover the last 4 miles of its journey in just 1 second. Coming up, we'll hear the final updates from mission operators and witness the big moment live from space. Samson, you have the best seat in the house. How are we looking?
You're right, Tahira. Front row tickets to the biggest event in town, and things are looking good. We are T-minus 10 minutes to impact, and DART is precision locked onto Dimorphos and zooming down the home stretch. Now, we have a lot to cover in the time we have left, and I'm thrilled to have with me Lori Glaze, Director of NASA's Planetary Science Division, with me for the ride. Lori, such a pleasure to have you.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited to be here and really happy that we are here in this final 10 minutes. We are almost there.
Well, you were just in the thick of it with the team up until a few minutes ago. What is the atmosphere like in there? I can only imagine.
It's really, it's great. I mean, they're excited. Every time there's a marker that we meet a milestone, everyone is cheering and very excited. But there's also almost a sense of a calm confidence that with every milestone, everything's going, as planned. We're found and we locked on the target as planned, pretty much at the right time. They're looking at the brightness and the reflectivity of the object, and it's more or less what they expected. Everything is performing as expected, and so there's a lot of cheering and happiness, but just kind of a sense, hey, we've been planning for this a long time, and we've got it.
We've got this. We've been planning for this. We can hear applause left and right throughout this evening. All good signs. What are they focused on at this critical juncture, Lori? It is basically years of planning, 10 months of making sure we get to this point after launch, and they've been juggling a lot. Is there anything in particular that they are glued on as we enter this moment of truth?
Yeah, so the main thing they've been watching is, getting to that point where we could do the precision lock, where we had good enough signal coming back and enough confidence in where we are relative to Dimorphos that we could really do that precision lock onto the target. And it's hands off now, right? We're not, the spacecraft is going to drive itself, and really focused on that, that point where they could be precision locked. And they're also thinking about looking.
Okay, so Stacey's asking, so if this goes awry, what are the consequences? Nothing will happen. We're not, this asteroid wasn't heading towards Earth. It's nowhere near Earth. They can't knock it into the path of Earth because the way the trajectory is obviously coming away from Earth. So if they miss or if they knock it the wrong direction, nothing's going to happen. They've worked out all the different things, all the different trajectories that this asteroid could take, and it doesn't come towards Earth. So there's nothing to worry about at all. They've been banging on about this all day, actually. And every time it's been on the news, they've been saying it's no threat to Earth at all.
Or just wetting it out like the rest of us for the first time. Lori, this is huge, both from an operational perspective and also an emotional.
I just feel this is going to happen really fast. So, because obviously they just said that they will travel the last 4 miles in a second. So don't expect it to be movie quality like CGI effects. I think we obviously we can see it quite big now. It is the one here, that's the one we're aiming for, not this one. This is the moon. It's an asteroid moon that's going around the main asteroid. So that's what we're aiming for. So I think you'll get a good view of it, and then it'll just go off because it's traveling so fast. So and also, if you notice, it's jumping obviously because it's streaming it back across the 7 million miles. So this is it's going to happen very quick.
Of relief, a little bit of, can I let this go? I have worked for this one so long, and now we can no longer do anything. That moment is just coming up.
Yeah, but I think they're ready. I think they're at that point. You know, you're getting some shots of Elena Adams, the systems engineer, and you can see the excitement in her voice. She's so ready to show the success of this mission.
This is awesome. 5 minutes out, which we're coming up on now. The team will be hands off 2.5 minutes from impact. SmartNav, which has been guiding the spacecraft autonomously for 4 hours, will also step away, stop any maneuvers. DART will simply be coasting to its fate. This is blockbuster stuff, Lori.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We are there. Yeah.
And I have front row tickets, and we are very soon about to open up these airwaves in the Mission Operations Center. We'll stay plugged in all the way through impact. Remember, at this point, 5 minutes out, no more commands to SmartNav will be possible. The team is watching it just like you and me and the rest of us. All right, we've reached 5 minutes from impact. The final command opportunity.
Definitely can see that it looks like an asteroid. I think we can definitely say that. It's got craters on it and stuff, so it's quite cool. But that's not the one we're aiming for. It's the one to the right.
Lag for the data to travel to Earth, and also an additional few more seconds for image processing. It's important to note that. You should be hearing the chatter in the Mission Operations Center momentarily.
This is DART MSC and DT Mach. 5 minutes till impact. 5 minutes till impact. We are at 1,100 miles away. Also, our window for sending any commands to the spacecraft is done. Contingency's done.
This is a great vibe in that Mission Operations Center right now, Lori.
It really is. They are so excited. And I'm honing in, looking at these images as we get closer and closer, and you look at Didymos, and just you're starting to see this physical body appear there. It's incredible, just incredible.
I'm still having a hard time believing this is real energy coming in near real time.
Yeah, but you've been watching it over the last 30, 45 minutes go from just being a collection of individual pixels, and now you can actually see the shape and the shading and texture of Didymos, and we're going to see that same thing with Dimorphos as we get closer and closer. This is so cool.
Never before seen images of Dimorphos will come into stark relief.
Absolutely.
A few seconds before impact.
Didymos. It's amazing. All right.
The team is standing, just recognizing this moment, years in the making. It is really nice to see them relax a little bit, get off from those computers that they've been glued to, and just appreciate this moment that's coming.
Yeah, and they've earned this. It's just great to see them there. This is so cool.
Lori, we hit another major milestone. We are now 2.5 minutes from impact, and SmartNav has stopped maneuvering the spacecraft. DART is now coasting toward Dimorphos, and we hope into the history books.
Absolutely. This will be, I'm sure you've heard it many times tonight, humanity's first ever attempt at trying to move another celestial body, and also our first attempt ever to execute a mission in sole purpose of planetary defense. So what an exciting time. Yeah, and I'm starting to see Dimorphos start to come into view there. You can see it starting to take shape. I'm starting to see individual boulders on Didymos. Unbelievable clarity of images there.
We're coasting on in. Our projected miss distance is going to be about 17 meters.
All right.
Right, here we go then, kids.
All eyes on
1 minute and 30 seconds to go. As I say, it'll travel the last 4 miles in 1 second. So.
Yeah.
All right. 2 minutes out.
Does not look like one single rock to me.
Oh boy, we're getting close.
14,000 miles per hour, Lori.
14,000 miles per hour. And remember, 45 minutes ago, 55 minutes ago, we couldn't even resolve this object in space. And now you can see us zeroing in right on target.
And we're now dropping the clock, and we'll go by loss of signal to confirm impact.
Right. Yes. Imagine we'll get that loss of signal,
just in
and then
case
we'll
they mess
hear
the clock
from
up.
Lena Adams again, letting us know that
I feel like we'll know. I feel like that'll be a crystal clear signal.
It'll be a crystal clear picture for about a second.
We're starting to see more resolution. In fact, look at that. Didymos has even gone out of the view. We're now just seeing Dimorphos.
This is remarkable stuff.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Looks like control system settling down. Angular rates look really good. I think we're going to get the investigation team some good pictures.
Wow.
No, come on, we can do better than that.
Starting to see those individual boulders there. You can see shadows of the various rocks on the surface.
Well, this is what we've been waiting for. Here we go. 30 seconds.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Looks to me like we're headed straight in. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. 8,
Yeah.
7, 6,
wow.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow.
Awaiting visual confirmation.
All right. Let's see. We got it? Waiting.
And we have impact. A giant leap for humanity in the name of planetary defense.
Fantastic. Oh, fantastic.
That was shocking. That was phenomenal. That last picture was just the rocks.
This is beautiful to watch.
Wow.
Amazing.
What a team. What a team and what an
a
accomplishment.
Team. A few weeks ago, they had their last dress rehearsal. They were getting emotional at the dress rehearsal. They're like, this is crazy. We're getting emotional. This is not the real thing. I can only imagine what they are feeling right now.
Yes. Well, you can see them there on screen. They're all pretty excited. Wow.
Hearing impact, the curtains close on Draco feed. That raw joy from the team, years of hard work and the weight of expectation lifted off their shoulders. This is.
So I was looking at the information for that other satellite, and that's been, I think it's going to come back. So we'll get that information in a week or so, I would have thought, once they transmit that back. So that's it. Paul is right. It's bedtime, folks. So thanks a lot for joining us. It's always fun doing these things, and everybody throughout the world joining us. So it's great. We'll be back for hopefully the spaceship. Not NASA. I'm very tired now. So SpaceX's space system test, which they're going to do, I think it could be next week. They've already mounted it all, so it should be good. But anyway, keep an eye on the channel, and we'll keep you informed. Have a good night, everybody, or a good evening if you're on the other side of the planet. See you soon. Bye-bye.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.